Hey there friends, welcome back to the channel. My name is Sohum and I'm on a mission to spread peace, love, and positivity through music. Today I'll be reacting to the first 4 openings of the anime Shangri-La Frontier. I don't know this anime, but the name Shangri-La sounds really familiar to me, and I think it comes from a Call of Duty Zombies map from, was it World at War? So the 5th Call of Duty game ever. I think there was a map called Shangri-La. Don't fact check me on that. It's just it sounds so familiar to me. So before we jump into this one, a massive thank you goes to Amy the Bold, whose generous support made this reaction possible. And Amy dedicates this one to the wonderful Colin. Alright, so Shangri-La Frontier follows Sunraku, a player who enjoys playing bad VR games, as he challenges himself with a popular high-quality game called Shangri-La Frontier. He quickly discovers that his skills honed on lesser games don't translate as easily to the challenging world of SLF. The story explores his journey of learning the game, forming friendships, and potentially uncovering hidden secrets within the virtual world. That's pretty cool. I'm down for more things about VR, like shows and games. Like you have Black Mirror. I don't know how many of you watch Black Mirror, but there's a lot to do with virtual reality there, as well as a lot of the ethics behind what it takes to bring virtual reality to life and copying the human consciousness and all of these cool stuff that I won't delve into today. And I guess it's also this introduction of the anime kind of reminds me of an overall concept as it relates to learning, because you could spend so many hours, let's say, learning the piano, but only playing Hot Cross Buns or Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, and you become an expert at those lesser songs, lesser games, without actually realizing what's out there. What is on Shangri-La's Frontier? You could play Beethoven, Bach, Mozart, Patrick Pietschmann, so many amazing pianists that are out there in the classical era, modern era, whatever. But you wouldn't know how to actually tackle such songs if you didn't practice and build the bridges, the stepping stones to get there. So yeah, cool idea for an anime. Definitely interested in hearing what the songs are all about. The first opening here is called Broken Games by FZMZ. Let's check it out. Oh my god. Huge.
I'm a hustler, status, only luck free. Very, now this is my style. Playing broken games all night, who's the night? Quit the king of sickness, toxic but I'm not the patient. Giddy fight of machines, a condom, caras, kitty bag, that's common sense and the gimmick. You can make a suicide and don't give it time, baby. Madadada, no, madadada, no, madadada, no, madadada, I still can go.
Oh my god. Whoa. Yeah, I'm immediately a fan of this one. If you guys don't know how I do these reactions, basically I'll listen to each opening and I'll give my notes and a rating at the end. I love when I do these anime openings and ratings. I love something that's heavy, that packs a punch, that's melodically interesting, that is dynamic within the short limited 90 seconds that we have. Because it tends to be that most of these openings try to show off as much of the long form version of the songs as possible. So if you're going to show them off, you better make it count. Make the big moments big, make the small moments still feel big, but also matter uniquely and independently. A lot of cool elements here. The heaviness, the grooviness in the bass, the rap elements coming from the vocals. You got cool melodies as well happening in the vocals, and then on top of it, the structure of the song is not obvious to me at all. So for that, I immediately put this in the 9s. This gets a 9+ rating. I want to say the floor of this guy is a 9.2, upwards of like a 9.6, I want to say, which is already a very high rating. Normally, the ratings I give, I think, fall anywhere between, let's say the mean would be, call it like 8.4, 8.5, and then, a standard deviation out, 2 standard deviations out becomes incrementally harder, right? It's more rare at each of those moments. This is a rare one, and it works from top to bottom. A lot of thickness to this mix, and I love that the heaviness in the guitars and the bass and the drums is also accented and made cooler with these digital / glitchy effects that happen. The glitchiness is more subtle, but there's definitely a digital post-production that's happening here. So definitely a high rating. I want to actually even bump it up to 9.3 to 9.7. That's the first opening there. Solid start. Absolutely. Let's check out the opening here. The second one, Danger Danger by FZMZ featuring Icy. Wow. Oh, this is so cool. I love how every element of these songs is accented by this underlying heaviness. Yeah, maybe it is just a hack and Amy is not finally, she's been understanding for quite some time, but has really cracked the code on what it takes for me to get to certain songs and openings and what have you. But heaviness on top of everything else, when there is melody, when there's cool rhythm, syncopation, swelling, ups and downs, different key changes, if it's all accented by heaviness in the appropriate moments and doled out in the appropriate amounts, there's a million caveats there to make it all work. But if all of those things are independently and interactively checked off, you got yourself a song in the 9s. Again, ladies and gentlemen, we are in the 9s. Back to back, Shangri-La Frontier is certainly delivering. I do think this one is a little bit lower, though, than the first one, just because I wasn't as big of a fan of the melody here than I heard in the first one with FZMZ. But FZMZ definitely has a knack for creating fun, punchy songs with heavy bass, heavy guitar, heavy drums. That said, we are just going to give it a flat minus 0.2 on the previous range here. Oh, actually, what did I do? I did a bit of a hybrid. I did a minus 0.3 and a minus 0.2 on the lower and upper ends there, respectively. So that will get, I think, a wider range. I think we'll just shorten it a bit to down here. That feels appropriate to me. I like that the two vocalists are getting pretty much equal time to shine despite all of the craziness that's happening. You would feel like, man, how do you give everybody the appropriate amount of spotlight here, especially with the rest of the instrumentation happening? But it works. they find that balance. They lean into the J-pop when it suits them. They go into these, again, rap cadences, the sing-songy in the chorus, which was more pronounced this time than in the first song. 9.0 to 9.4. Solid start. Man, can we stay in the nines this entire reaction? Let's find out, shall we? The next song for the third opening here, or the season 2 first opening, is Queen by Lisa. Let's check it out. Please play. There we go.
Green light.
I gotta go. I just have to listen to this whole thing again. I feel like I'm getting a bit overwhelmed in a good way because there's so much goodness that I'm experiencing, but there's a lot of it for my brain to wrap itself around right now.
Green light.
Yeah, this is... These have been some of the most solid openings, just back to back to back, that I've heard so far. I can't do anything but to rate these each in the nines, and this one I think is a little bit better than the second one, but still below the first. I think Broken Game still takes the cake for me, which is honestly a reason to raise the floor of the first one here. And let's say I said between, so let's now keep the range between 9.1 and 9.5. It is just, these songs are littered with heaviness. I love each and every single moment, and it doesn't feel overblown. It feels purposeful, and yet within all of this heaviness, you can still catch the ramping moments where the dynamics are getting either quieter or louder. I mean, how do you make a song that's already loud and punchy and aggressive quieter in a subtle way that allows you the room to expand it and build it even bigger? It is a very hard task. I don't envy anybody who has to make music like this on the regular, because it is not an easy feat by any stretch of the imagination. I love the strumming there. There was a moment here I had to reorder my thoughts as I kind of were writing them down, because the strumming was the first thing I noticed in that post intro section where we were getting that heaviness, the light vocals, and then this consistent underpinning of the from the electric guitar. It is definitely an understated aspect of the electric guitar that it can serve as a string instrument and a percussive instrument. Also the voice, but that's a conversation for another time. If the guitar is used properly, you would be able to basically play the drums as well. There are some guitarists out there. There's a Polish one named Marcin, Marcin. He is one of the craziest fingerstyle flamenco slash like using the guitar as a drum set guitarists I've ever heard. Definitely worth checking him out. This was not to that extent by any stretch. This was just a consistent groove you could hear in that like lower part of the mix. And when you create that consistency, the God, why do I even try to emulate these? When you hear that consistency, it pairs well with the drums and it allows the vocals to be light and airy and melodic. Whew. These are really good. These are so good. Let's check out the last one here today. This is the fourth opening. This is the season 2 opening 2. The song is called Frontiers by A Witch. Let us begin.
What you wanna be? We are the frontiers. 이 너무のfear. Yo, 瞬間にゼロから100. 闇の奥の神秘解き明かす. Yo, 死んでも rising from the dust. 前代未聞の領域に立つ. てめえの uniqueness を試し set test level X I'm the best nothing less. 開拓していく east to the west だからやつなら出たこと消す本当に俺は勝てた何のための涙誰を嫌う誰に笑う勝敗を分ける神はそれぞれの願い仲間と狙うプライズ答え求め道を開く What you wanna be まぐりまぐりの世界でサバイバーメラメラ燃やす導きのファイヤー What you wanna be What you wanna be 宣戦布告システムに aim back 己を見失えば即天国You know I'll be there 覆す limits 今こそが new beginning
Whoa, that... I just want to listen to that again. That is, I think, of the four, the most unique. It feels like a song you may hear in one of those like cinematic trailers of like a war movie where you hear like the generals screaming out to all of the soldiers, "Yes, men, let's do it! Let's fight for our survival!" Like all of these epic quotations underpinned by the amazing epic choir. Let's just hear it again. Today we fight! Fight for our rights! We refuse to back down! Like that kind of vibe.
We are the frontiers 挑む win a fair Yo 瞬間にゼロから100 闇の奥の神秘解き明かす Yo 死んでも rising from the dust 前代未聞の領域に立つてめえの uniqueness を試し set test level X I'm the best nothing less 開拓していく east to the west だからやつなら出たこと消す本当に俺は勝てた何のための涙誰を嫌う誰に笑う勝敗を分ける神はそれぞれの願い仲間と狙うプライズ答え求め道を開く What you wanna be まぐりまぐりの世界でサバイバーメラメラ燃やす導きのファイヤー What you wanna be What you wanna be 宣戦布告システムに aim back 己を見失えば即天国What you wanna be? What you wanna be? We are the frontiers.挑む win a fair? You know I'll be there 覆す limits 今こそが new beginning.
Yeah, this song, as I'm writing here, it has infinite potential to be like in the nines, to be a potentially perfect song. It is just so epic. There's so much width to the mix, depth as well. You can hear the sounds that are loud in front and quiet in the back, but there is a huge expanse between that allows for any style, any instrument to to neatly find itself a home, definitely needs heavier drops. I think the choir is already heavy. It's kind of intimating that something's going to happen. It hints at the song about to explode, but I think in the context of what we hear in the 90 seconds, we don't get that explosion, that explosive moment. I think something that detracts a little bit is that we have very minimal drums in this performance here, which you don't need drums per se all the time, but in something like this where the potential is kind of there, to not have drums, at least on the explosive chorus, feels a bit like a missed opportunity, if that makes sense. And this is all, by the way, me being very like particular with my ratings and why I might give something a more perfect score versus something that just sounds really amazing and has everything together already perfectly. Because everything here that we listened to today is immediately going to go into the playlist, and you know, it kind of invites me to watch the anime Shangri-La Frontier itself. You know, I try to, when it comes to like engage in media, spend the time outside of my reactions to listen to as much as I can, to watch as much as I can. That's the biggest problem in my life right now, is I just don't have enough time for everything that I want to do, which I suppose is a good problem to have, but it makes it hard for me to enjoy all the music and all the animes and all the shows that I would ever want to watch and listen to on repeat. But again, let's get back to the subject matter here before I get lost in the sauce of my mind. Love the epicness, the choir, the strings. This line here, huge epicness ensues, but it needs something epicer to capstone it, to end the night off on a foot like that. It is very unique out of the four that we heard. So from that perspective, I already immediately rate it higher, because the flexibility in, you know, one's discography is important. Now, it's not to say that anime openings and anime shows have like a discography, right? They're hiring a bunch of different artists to create works together, and hopefully the overall composition of songs fits the vision of the anime. So they all have a unique voice, which I'm glad about, and this one has the most unique of voices. I don't know if this is making sense. Let me know what you guys think about my reaction in the comments down below about these songs, about the anime itself. I'd be very curious to hear your thoughts. But that's all I have for you today. Hope you enjoyed the reaction. If you did and would like to request a reaction yourself, you can do so by clicking the link in the description box down below. That is the best way to support my channel. And I guess to capstone this one, I'll give you guys my ratings in order. So the first opening, Broken Games, that was between a 9.5 to 9.7. We'll give it a clean 9.6 out of 10. So I believe we started off the reaction on the highest note. Then opening 2 was just below, in the 9 still. We had a 9.0 to 9.4 range. I will give it a 9.2 again for ease of analysis here. So 9.6, then 9.2, then number 3 here was a 9.4 to 9.1 to 9.5. So let me write that down. So 9.2 is number 2, and I will give it another average. This will be 9.3. So in the first 3 songs we checked out today, we had a 9.6, a 9.2, and a 9.3. That is the best, I think, 3-song stretch we've had in the history of my anime opening reactions on the channel. Amazing. And then the last one here, we gave an 8.8. So super solid all around. I hope you all enjoyed the reaction today. Again, do all the fun YouTube stuff down below. I will catch you in the next one. Take care, everybody.